Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of, this is for July 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Taurus, and see what is coming up for you at this time. You start with this patience and leadership card. Some of you have the Three of Cups here, so some of you could be taking the lead of like some sort of group, or it could even be your career. So you could be kind of stepping into a leadership position. I would, look for those opportunities as well. Like if you have the opportunity to take the lead or to get a leadership role, I feel it could be very, very beneficial for you. So, I feel like it would be a good idea just in general. I also kind of get the feeling that some of you feel, it's kind of like a weird feeling. It's like you feel like you aren't, it's like you feel like you aren't where you should be, but I feel like you actually are. So, again, if you're worried that you're behind in life, right? It's like those are the things that are popping into my head right now, Taurus, is that you could be worried that you're like not where you're supposed to be, or you're behind in, some area of your life. But I actually feel that you're about to see that you're exactly where you need to be. So, I wouldn't worry too much about those like feelings that you're having, is what I would say there. Definitely, some of you could have been dealing with a third party here, going Three of Cups, Nine of Swords to the Tower. I feel like you already know about it, and, what I would say is I feel like you're moving on from it. This row is actually pretty good. You have the Sun, the Ace of Swords, and the Tower. The Sun kind of makes whatever, wherever it shows up a little bit more positive, number one. But number two, again, there can still be, positive things that are happening in your life, and you could still be dealing with something else. So I like to remind people that sometimes people are like, how can you say this is positive when the Tower comes up? I'm like, well, you can be going through a breakup, but there can also be other reasons in your life for you to be positive. Life isn't just about breakups. So, again, there's no doubt about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like some of you are dealing with a third party, or you already have, and it looks like something that's already happened, because this is showing up in your first position. This first row is just your general energy, but it could also represent the past. I use what I call a loose spread, past, present, future outcome. And, what I would say here is it looks like it's something that's already happened. I feel like you're kind of like moving on from it just in general. You have the Six of Swords if this has happened to you. For some of you, this could have happened a long time ago. And we have Venus going retrograde towards the end of the month on the 22nd. So, it's like one of those moments where it's like sometimes I think we can move on from something, and then years later we get triggered, or something happens where we start thinking about it. And again, Venus retrograde could bring those things up where it's like maybe you're over it, but you could still be thinking about it. And who knows why? Probably just to process the information, or maybe there's still some healing that has to go on, or whatever the case may be. I feel like you're kind of finally moving on from something. The other thing is, I feel like a lot of you could be kind of like moving on to just calmer shores in general. Six of Swords is a card moving on to calmer shores. So things seem to be improving for you here, Taurus. You have the Nine of Cups as well, which is a card of wish fulfillment. So, I would definitely make a wish. I would also say, again, going this way, I feel like you're about to see that you actually have been making progress. I really feel like some of you just feel like you're not where you should be, or, you feel behind, or whatever the case may be. But, I feel like you're not. It's like you think you are, but you're not. So, I don't know. Let's see. With the Three of Cups, you have the Chariot. Definitely a victory coming in for you. Good things coming in for you. It's like you've been moved in the right direction, is going this direction here. It's kind of interesting that the Four of Pentacles, he also has this city behind him. Just like on a traditional Chariot card, the Chariot driver has that city behind him, and it's something he needs to leave behind. So again, for some of you, if you're still holding on to something, doesn't even have to be a person, could be an idea or something that isn't working in your life. This could say that releasing it will kind of move you forward much faster. With the Six of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, definitely could have been dealing with like a player energy here. Someone who is a liar. The Ace of Swords could be the truth. And this could be why you're getting triggered. Again, Venus retrograde could bring back a person, and maybe they're feeling guilty or whatever, and they want to tell you the truth, but also sometimes the truth hurts, right? So I would be careful. I would block, if you don't want to hear the truth from a person, I would block them. If you do, then don't block them. It's just that simple. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles here. Yeah, working really hard. I just feel hard work on this card, It's like, for the most part, sometimes I like the Knight of Pentacles, sometimes I don't, because, he kind of represents hesitation, or playing it too safe sometimes. But I actually feel pretty good for you. I feel like you're doing work. It's like you're working on projects or businesses, or, you're working on things in your career. And I feel like you're doing the right work. You could even be working on other things as well. You could be working on your health, or you could be working on, improving your relationships or whatever. And, I feel like whatever you're working on, you're going to start seeing results. So I just feel he's just kind of talking about work in general. Next, you have this card that says you're stepping into your highest divine life path. There you go. You have this card that says, I promise you, it does get better. Yes, like I said, I get this feeling that you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, but you are. So definitely, and I feel like the sooner you release the need to be in the right place in the first place is the second that you will be in the right place, right? It's like you are in the right place. You are, living your purpose. You are doing the things you need to do. Just keep pushing forward. And, I think things will start to open up. You have the Four of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Again, I do feel this, this area of the reading is just what you don't see coming. But really, I just feel you feel like you want to be in a different place in life. Like I said, I don't know how else to explain the energy. It's a pretty straightforward reading. You literally end with the Milk and Honey card, which is like, the land of milk and honey. It is a nice place to be. So, I feel like you're just about to get to this nice place, but I feel like there have been disappointments or things have not been progressing how you want them to progress. Again, I always say that the Four Cups, he's kind of disappointed. He's trying to manifest these cups, but he's not manifesting things that he actually wants. So he feels like he's not getting what he wants. But I also say, it's like if he were trying to manifest a cake, he has manifested the flour, the sugar, the eggs, all the ingredients. He just needs to mix it all together. And I feel like that's where you are, is like you have manifested, the steps or the things that you need, but you just need to put it all together. You have the Nine of Swords. I feel like this is your biggest fear right now, is being stuck in a never-ending nightmare. I feel a lot of people feel this right now because of Uranus and Taurus, but obviously Uranus is in your sign, so it's an even bigger fear for you, like making the wrong decision. It's the fear of, am I making, it's just the fear of decision making, but also on top of that, if you do make a decision, fearing fearing that the choice was the wrong choice in the first place. So, I kind of feel like you need to get away from that fear. We're going to clarify, we're going to see, what comes up, like what advice for overcoming the fear in the first place. You have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a card of following your heart. I feel like that's part of it. You always get the Queen of Cups, like for the past, 6 months, something like that. I really feel it's a time where you need to kind of listen to your inner wisdom. Again, she really values what her heart tells her to do. She doesn't care what anyone else tells her to do. And I feel like that's what you need to do. If you're following your heart, then you're making the right decision. Plain and simple. Let's see where this is going. With the Four of Cups, you have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups says turn around. It's interesting because normally, how the Five of Cups would have 3 cups spilt over, 2 cups behind him. 3 cups, and then 2 cups would lead to the sun. So, literally, the solution to the Five of Cups is to be grateful for what you have. The second you express gratitude, you get the 2 cups behind you. And then he on the Five of Cups, he doesn't just get the 2 cups. He gets the bridge and the castle as well. So I feel like gratitude. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Magician. It's like, how many times do you have to prove to yourself that you can create something? It's like, I always say this to people all the time. Like, I've dealt with, a lot of businesses in my day, helping people with marketing and things like that. And I've dealt with some business owners where it's like they've had multiple successful businesses, and they allow fear to get in the way. They're like, what if this fails? What if this happens? I'm like, well, you've already built 10 businesses. So it's like, what are you afraid of? You've already done it before. It's like, if you've done something before, you can do it again. As a professional failure right here, it's like, I can tell you, it's like, the only way I was able to, get over my fear of failure was to fail a bunch of times and realize that it's like every time I've had a business fail, I just build something else and always build it back faster and stronger and better. So it's like, I feel like that's what's going on here. It's like some of you just need to trust that you've built something before. But this goes for relationships as well. It's like I get a lot of comments from people that are like, oh, this past person cheated on me, so I'm going to give up on love. I'm like, okay, congratulations. That person now lives your life for you, right? The person who hurt you, the bozo who hurt you, is now controlling your life and preventing love from entering into your life. But you're allowing that to happen, number one. Number two, you're saying that you didn't learn anything from it. Because again, when people cheat on us, I've been cheated on twice in a row. And both times, both people told me exactly what was going to happen. I only have myself to blame. Because both times, both people said exactly what was going to happen. I just chose not to listen, right? So again, if we listen, people, they tell us exactly what they're going to do right away. Every single relationship I've been in, I can see how every single person has said exactly what was going to happen. So we just need to be better listeners, right? We just need to get better at trusting the evidence. We need to get better at not sugarcoating a person because they look too good, right? We need to say like, okay, like what is this person actually, what are they actually doing? What are their actions? Do their actions match? And I always tell people as well, this shouldn't stop you from getting into a relationship. If you meet a person and maybe there's some things that they say and you're like, okay, where is this going? I always say, just don't overgive in the situation. Put a little bit of energy in, right? If they return the energy, great. There's your evidence. If they don't, then don't. So plain and simple. But you have the Knight of Cups here, which is like a knight in shining armor. I feel like there could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you. But again, you have to let go of the past. With this energy, could be an earth sign or a water sign. Earth and water, fire stands out to me as well. So, I just listed off basically everything that could be coming in for you. So, it could be any sign, plain and simple. I feel like it'll be a little bit of a surprise as well. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this card that says magic and curse on it. This witch card, you have this tree that says stability and growth. So I feel like you're breaking a curse. Personally, I don't believe in curses. And, people are always like, how do you not believe in curses? I'm like, I don't know. I don't. I would be dead if curses were real. So I don't know. I don't believe in it. Plain and simple. Sorry if if you do, go for it. But what I would say here is that again, I feel like you feel like you're breaking some sort of curse or you're breaking out of something, and it's going to lead to stability and growth with that tree card. We see a lot of growth in this row. The sun causes things to grow, right? It's like you need the sun to grow a plant. So I feel like there's a lot of growth potential for you. I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you here as well. I also feel there could be a fire sign coming in for you, but again, it could be very surprising. With that tower card, sometimes the tower can just be a good surprise. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could also be like a shock to the system, like in a good way. Like, again, I have to learn everything at least twice personally. So it's like, now I won't make the mistake I made with both those people who cheated twice. It's like, I won't do that again, but it just took 2 times. Right. It was an uncomfortable realization, but also I'm glad I realized it because now I won't make the mistake again. Right. And so I feel like some of you, it's like you could be having, those realizations. You could be having those sudden thoughts and things like that where you're like, wow, I really wish I trusted myself in that situation, right? But again, you're choosing to see reality, which is much better. You have the Ace of Swords. I even feel like some of you have dealt with a person where it's like maybe they were very immature. Like they kind of like hide from reality. Maybe they don't take responsibility for things. I feel like there's something maybe with a past person, especially if you were dating someone who's like immature. I feel like they were more than immature. It's like not even, it's like not even something that I can grab onto in my head. It's almost like I feel like there were just certain actions, like they didn't take responsibility for things. They just made bad decisions in their life in general. And it's like all adults, we all make bad decisions. But it's like when it's bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, you have to say this person makes bad decisions, right? And it's probably, they're probably going to bring a lot of chaos into your life. So I feel like you're kind of like learning to trust the truth of situations with the Ace of Swords. There's been a lot of truth. Again, I feel like over the next 20 years, we're going to see a lot of truth just in general. Truth coming out, things being exposed in the world, whatever. Things, people, in your personal life, again, things being exposed in your personal life, all that other stuff from people. And again, these don't have to be bad truths, by the way. These could be good things, it's basically everything. So it's not like good or bad, but I also feel like you could be exposing this truth to yourself, and you could be like seeing things for how they truly are. I feel like you always give the people the benefit of the doubt, and it's not that you're like not doing that anymore. I feel like you're just more in a position of like letting people, giving a little bit more time for people to actually, prove that they deserve to be in your life. With the Sun, you have the Hermit. Could be a Virgo coming in for some of you as well. I feel like you get Virgo all the time. So that kind of makes sense. With the Ace of Swords, you have the King of Pentacles. You have the King of Pentacles twice. Again, I feel like this is you, Taurus. And what I would say about the King of Pentacles is that I feel like you have a very strong desire for security. Again, we were talking about Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is going to make you have a very strong, I mean, you've probably been feeling it already, because, Uranus and Taurus, it has been in Taurus for a while now. And so you probably have like a stronger desire for freedom to, some of you could be moving. I said it at the beginning of Uranus and Taurus that it wouldn't surprise me if like a lot of you decided to like live out of RVs or something like that, like just wanting to travel around, wanting the freedom to do that. Some of you might not even be interested in buying a house anymore, for example. It's like, maybe you're just more interested in kind of like renting, or so that you're not like stuck to a place. And, I feel that for some of you. You have the Judgment card here. That changes everything right here. This is the most powerful combination in the tarot, Tower and the Judgment. To me, it represents some sort of major revelation, a major aha moment that you could be having in your life. And again, I do feel like for some of you, it is maybe like an uncomfortable aha moment in a certain way. It's like, like maybe you always pick a certain type of person, and maybe you're realizing that it's that type of person that is the problem. But it could point, something out that you, like maybe you always go for people. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, Taurus, if I'm being honest with you, but what I would say is it's like, maybe you always try to pick a person that you try to save, right? Or who has certain problems or whatever. And I feel like it's maybe revealed the truth to you, but I also feel it's going to lead to like positive change. It's a good thing. But you could be having a lot of revelations. You have this Go the Distance card and this Milk and Honey card. This is coming up in the area of messages from your future self. The Go the Distance card is about seeing something through to the end. And the Milk and Honey card is like the reward that is waiting for you. I'm telling you right now, if you're working on a project, a business, an idea, a YouTube channel, a book, whatever project, if you are working on a project, I feel like you really need to keep pushing, see it through to the end. Do not give up, because I see like a lot of abundance and happiness at the end of this journey. If you're doing anything else as well, like if you're moving, if you're getting into a new relationship, like with a new person, like whatever it is, I really feel going the distance is going to pay off big time. Again, make sure to trust the evidence. Like, don't just give everything up front with a person. But if a person proves, if you give them energy, they return the favor, they give you energy, there's equal give and take or whatever, it's like, then it's safe to go the distance, right? And, I feel like that's what this is saying. So follow the evidence. You have the Four of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. So again, I do feel like there could be a King of Wands type person here. I'm wondering if like you were with like a pretender in the past. It's like someone, it's like the Knight of Wands wanted to be the King of Wands. And, obviously this isn't going to resonate with all of you, but it's like maybe you're with a person where it's like they want to be this type of energy, King of Wands, very bold, assertive, courageous, able to go for things, but maybe they just couldn't. So, I kind of feel like you're attracting the true version of whatever this past person wasn't, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. I also feel like you need to embrace this King of Wands energy. I always say to you, you need to be bold, assertive, really go for what you want. You have the King of Pentacles here. Again, you have the King of Pentacles twice. It's pretty simple. I feel like you're stabilizing your finances. I also feel there could be, clearly there's a lot being exposed to you here. I mean, even the sun. The sun shines a light on things in our life. And so it seems to me like it's a time of like truth, or, some truths being exposed to you. But again, these aren't like bad truths. I feel these could be good things, probably things that you need to work on, but also these things being exposed could be opportunities that you need to take advantage of. So, don't be afraid to leave comfort zones with the Four of Pentacles. Don't be afraid to do more than you ever have in the past, because I feel like it's going to lead to success. But I do feel your future self is saying, it's kind of funny because I feel like some of you could have like a comfort zone. Could be anything, like a habit that you have, could be an idea that you have where it's like maybe you're not growing something, and it's like your future self is almost saying, like, you can just jump to the end here. I don't really even like know what I'm trying to say. Like, I used to help someone with YouTube, and this is the best example I can give you, right? I used to help someone with YouTube, and they would always be working on like very beginner stuff, but they weren't a beginner, but they thought they were at a certain level, and they used to always say to me like, oh, I'll start working on that harder stuff like when I get to that level. I'm like, no, you're gonna start working on that right now. There's no point in like waiting. I kind of get that here with the Four of Pentacles, where it's like some of you might think you're down here, but you're actually, in work or business or whatever project you're working on, it's like you're at a much higher level. So work at that level. I don't know. That's what's popping into my head. Here you go. With the Four of Pentacles, you will be successful. Plain and simple. So move towards success. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Star. Yes, a lot of wish fulfillment coming in for you here. The Sun and the Star to me is like fame and fortune. You know, as I always say, it doesn't mean you're going to become famous, but if you have a project, a business, if you want to stand out in love, you have 3 cards here, 1, 2, 3, that all kind of represent needing to get attention, needing to stand out. But I feel like you're shining bright. You're definitely standing out. You show up twice here in the reading, and all with good cards, Ace of Swords, Star, and you have the Sun. So there's definitely a lot of attention coming in for you. With the King of Wands, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, definitely a time of heightened intuition as well. So I feel like you need to trust your intuition, and I also feel like you need to trust any aha moments that come into your head here, because again, I just see like a lot of aha moments popping into your head. The other thing is like, I feel like this reading is saying don't doubt certain things. There might be, you might be getting information, and you might be saying to yourself, is that too good to be true? Like maybe you discover an idea, or maybe someone tells you like an idea for your business or something, and you're like, oh no, there's no way that would work. Don't shoot down ideas right away. I feel like this is saying, no, experiment, see if it works, and especially if it doesn't cost money, right? It might just cost a little bit of time. I feel like the fear, I'm getting all these fears popping into my head, like fear of wasting time. This is saying, like, you're not actually wasting your time, you're learning something, so don't be afraid to do that. Sorry, you have this old man card. We're doing 5 main themes. It says dealings or relationships with an older man. You have this beetle. It says good fortune on it as well. I always clarify the people cards in this deck, so there could be good fortunes coming in from an older person. I also do get love here. I'm not saying it's not going to be like an old creepy looking guy like that, but you could be attracting someone who's older than you, and it could be a very fortunate connection. You have this V card. It says victory in some endeavor. We definitely see victories here. Chariot, Ace of Swords, and the 6 of Wands are all cards of victory. You have this boot. It says increase your efforts if you want to achieve goals. I literally said this, that you have to, it's almost like there's more work that has to be done with that 4 of Pentacles. That's what I was really getting, is it's almost like, I feel like it's saying like, unleash the beast inside of you. Don't hold back. It's like, but maybe you're afraid, oh, if I put all this work into this project or relationship, it's like you're saying to yourself, if I do that, what if it doesn't work out? But again, I feel like then you're not trusting yourself. You're not looking at the evidence. I feel if you look at the evidence and you say, well, actually, I am getting a return on my energy here, so it's perfectly safe for me to invest, right? You have this broken wishbone. It says, wish will not be granted. I feel like this is that Knight of Wands type of situation here. I actually feel like it is a good time for you to make a wish. You have the Magician to the Sun. You have this Cup card. It says you should accept valid criticism. And so, yeah, I think it's always a good idea for that. But something is paying off. You're finally getting somewhere here, Taurus. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.